You are watching the Fayetteville Government Channel. Up next, full coverage of the latest meeting of the Fayetteville Council of Neighborhoods. The Council of Neighborhoods is composed of citizen volunteers and meets on the last Thursday of each month. The Council of Neighborhoods provides a forum for neighborhood associations to share information, concerns, and ideas, and provides a mechanism to communicate with elected officials and governmental agencies. And now, the Fayetteville Council of Neighborhoods.
Welcome to the February 28th meeting of the Fayetteville Council of Neighborhoods. We back in action here, and I don't know if you can see our agenda or not. It's on the sideboard over here, saving paper. First order of business would be to just go around and identify ourselves. I mentioned what your affiliation is. That concerns our meeting here. Our newcomer, would you like to say who you are and
visitor?
What your affiliation is?
I'm Mariana, and I'm here because I have to be here for a project.
Are you at college or?
No, I go to high school, Rogers High School.
Would you like to join us at the table?
Oh, good. I'm here.
Come on.
Sorry to interrupt.
Rhonda, you may as well sit at the table.
You've been seen before, so.
Sign up on our sign-up sheet.
I'm embarrassed to be
Plenty of
late,
room.
and I'm very sorry for interrupting.
Oh, you're not late. We're just starting.
Good,
Just getting
good.
So would you like to identify yourself?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Adams, and nice to see you all. I'm on the city council and happy to be here with y'all tonight.
Welcome.
Ward 4.
Ward 4.
Don Connor, Root School Neighborhood Association.
Richard Russell, Jennings Plus Neighborhood Association.
Aubrey Shepherd, Town Branch Neighborhood Association.
Stan Lancaster, Jefferson Walker.
Dee Dee Peters, city staff.
Well, you're the coordinator.
Community outreach coordinator
There you
and
go.
city staff for this organization.
We're going to hold it to you.
Okay.
Dee Dee keeps the archive of the bylaws for us.
Yes, and I did pass out a printed agenda, but different from this one. The 2013 registration and some bylaws. I think they got, maybe at Aubrey's, there's a stack of bylaws.
Yeah. Did we get this moved, Ava? Sorry.
And I think these are not the latest bylaws, though. This is the latest I have on file.
Project.
Okay.
Are those available on
You got
Access Fayetteville?
They should be. I downloaded these from my personal digital collection that I inherited, but I'm not sure if
just
they
curious.
will be. They should be, but all the commission bylaws are council and commissions.
Just a little bit curious about the mechanism. If some meeting happens and bylaws get changed, how does that happen on the
They should be
copy
filed.
the public can see on the website?
Do you need me to find out what meeting that we had a couple of small changes in the bylaws almost 2 years ago. And, Julie did that. And matter of fact, I even got a copy of it after she changed it.
Okay.
And yours is a little bit different.
Okay.
But
I noticed there's no date on that, so in the next round, I'd like to put a date on it.
Right.
And it would, from my understanding, be filed with the city clerk's office.
yeah.
So I can try and get to the bottom of, I can get the process and find the latest one that's been
Yeah.
filed.
All right.
Because I know that Julie sent me one after she emailed me the new version after she'd made the changes. And I know she made the changes, so I just don't know what happened in the meantime.
I'm not looking in the right place, or I'm still finding, inherited digital files,
Yeah.
you have to figure out how somebody's filing system.
Is there any chance that it's actually on Access Fayetteville?
I could look. All the bylaws should be on there, but I can, after the meeting, look to see if
'Cause
that's the latest.
I think that's where she sent it to me
Okay.
from.
Okay.
Not sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was just an incidental question I had is any of these committees, when they meet and change their bylaws, is there a mechanism in place whereby that gets to the access hard copy or digital copy?
Okay, I'll find out with the clerk's office.
We have so many responsibilities to our stakeholders nowadays in that respect. It seems like it's pretty much expected for it to be current, and it's hard to do. It's absolutely hard to do. So let's see if my agenda that I put together works with the one we had handed out. Is it true that old business is first? I've lost my copy now.
It is indeed.
Oh, okay, so far so good. There's something we discussed some time back. It was called a Beauty Mark Award that the committee has given, the council has given in past years. Help me out with this a little bit, Stan. Did you ever win it for your coffee shop?
No.
No.
No, I had no idea it was ever even considered.
Something
I was
across
involved in the Beauty Mark Award for Thai restaurant in the south side of town.
The Thai restaurant out there on South School.
Yeah.
Then it seems like we had a meeting not too many months back where we made a committee and we were going to do a search of some projects. Maybe we could find one to award. And then the discussion went to the sponsorship, and was that still in place?
Yeah.
Remember how we talked about that? And
The head of the committee was going to get in touch with the Northwest Arkansas Times and make sure that the finances were still being provided. Nancy Allen also had all the information about the casting, the award, and all that sort of thing.
well, that's something we could think about some more.
Who was chairman of the committee?
I think it was Aubrey Shepherd.
No.
Was it JP?
I think you're right, JP.
I think it was
Might have been
Yeah.
J.P. Peters.
She called me back, one of the rare ones today. Or she emailed me because she can't speak well enough to call back because she's been at the legislature and she had to come home. She was
She's
somewhat
sick, of
ill,
course.
like a lot of us.
Yeah, no, she's-
Could be at any moment.
She's lobbying for the government
And
on health care.
Yeah. Anyhow, she responded, she plans to be back in action when she doesn't have to be in Little Rock so much with us. On the Beauty Mark, may I suggest we continue to think about it, but not promise anything tonight. I think we do need to get a few more people involved to be effective in that. I mean, 2 or 3 of us could do it all, but all the people who could do it are busy most of the time.
Is it appropriate to mention suggestions, ideas you're having, each of us? Anyone? I'm going to have to go get a better cup of water. What about suggestions?
For particular,
Sort of, could you go over the
Property?
criteria?
I don't have a
Judging
copy of our
of the
criteria.
zone.
I'm not sure. Did we decide whether this next award was going to be a business or a residence? Wasn't that part of the deal, was they were trying to decide whether it was a commercial or a residential
Yeah.
beauty mark? Because we've done commercials mostly in the past.
And I, right after we do these things, then I think about it for a few days and, you know.
It gets lost.
One of the thoughts I do recall I had when we had a meeting to discuss that was that they don't have to be grand public displays like some of the businesses might be able to afford, or they don't have to be as wonderful a yard as Cindy Copes or some of the people who are really dedicated to their gardening and native plants and so forth. But there are some small yards in not so fancy neighborhoods that are really beautiful, and they do, many of them have the native plants that were native there when they moved into the property. They never turned it all into non-native things. And our emphasis in the city on native plants suggests it's a good idea to at least make that one of the criteria for some of these plantings and so forth. But, you know, some people that don't have a fancy house have a fancy garden, you know, a beautiful garden. And so I spotted some of those. In fact, I think on the short take I did Monday, maybe, I actually had a photo of one of those houses in the winter, pointing out that's one of my favorite houses to drive by on a street very near downtown, or would be classed as part of downtown, really. And it's got a huge hackberry tree in the front yard. It's ancient and by our standards here, and which is one of the trees whose foliage feeds the caterpillars of numerous butterfly and moth species that are valuable and feed the birds.
The hackberries took an enormous hit in the ice storm. They were almost singled out.
And in addition, that yard in the growing season is very colorful, and a lot of the plants are traditional heritage garden plants, and others are native plants. So I would probably recommend that one if we were getting down to it. In fact, I went out for that purpose, looking at some of those right after we had the meeting discussing.
Well, March, April, May, we will be getting more beautiful, won't we?
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, I think that it would be good to focus on a residential recipient perhaps this time around, but that we're going to have time to locate those individual gardens and homes, because in the next couple of months things are really going to start to show up. I think now, if you were to go to look now, you might find the houses that are in the process or digging holes and moving rocks, but it might not look too good just yet.
Agreed.
I have a question about the beauty mark. Is it, do people apply for it? Is it?
No,
So far.
the committee members have people nominated through emails, or just tell somebody at the farmer's market, for instance, one of our neighborhood representatives. We have set up on the corner down there in the past and taken nominations.
Okay.
And financing of it, we donated money to do it a few times, and not big amounts, but to me it's worth $25 again to help do it. But the sponsorships mentioned were to get publicity from the newspaper, somebody that wants to contribute a trophy, or provide publicity such as a newspaper ad, a TV spot, a radio blurb, or anything in addition to putting it on your Facebook account, which almost everybody can do now. But there are many ways to draw some interest to that, as opposed to coming down to a meeting, I guess. Mr. Tripp.
All right. So in the past, it's been a casting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Bronze, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Depicting,
It's brass bronze, is a plaque that has a stick in the ground thing.
and does it get displayed at the property?
Yes.
Yeah, it's at the Fat Tie restaurant. They have it just on display inside. When you step inside, just almost immediately to your left, about eye level.
It's a pretty nice little plaque.
Mm-hmm.
So who did it the last time? Who cast it?
Was it Sargent?
I think so. I'm not positive.
Eugene
Sargent?
Sargent. Eugene Sargent had been casting.
I think it was Eugene, yes, that did it.
He's now living in my neighborhood. I don't know whether he's...
Is he well?
well, he did go through a health
Yeah.
problem, but he had, I think his father-in-law or somebody they've been doing a lot of work around the yard. It's going to be a show place, I think.
Well, good.
All right, we will keep that in the conversation.
Mr. Chairman, I would say, are you ready to go to the
Yeah.
association? I think we ought to ask Dee Dee to give us an update on how to update our renewals and so forth, and then talk about potential ways to recruit more people to
Since we're updating, pass that over to Dee Dee for me, will you, please?
Thank you. Yes, I believe the bylaws that are in front of me, I don't think that has changed about the renewal time is in
It's supposed to be in October.
October.
Yeah.
And that was, I arrived here October 30th. So I believe a notification went out, but I can definitely resend one and remind people, show them where it is. We'll put it online. I've made a couple changes to the application, just really stylistic, and put my contact information on there, and get that out to the.
Do you have a list of POAs?
I have a list of yes, I do, and I have 2 fabulous interns this year, and they have gone through all the files, and on our website we have something like 34 neighborhood associations listed, and they have found over 50.
Okay.
So it definitely needs an update, but we also have to find.
This is the president's job to bring this up, but is there any way that you can, request that they start attending DEF CON?
Well, it goes out an invitation goes out, and I got one. I can't make it. I didn't get anybody tell me they could make it. So I do have a survey mapped out or plan to go out to all the neighborhoods, giving, can you please update us? It's a digital survey monkey survey. So, because all of those 50, like Lindsley's is not meeting anymore. So I suspect there are some that are not.
Yeah, but most of those POAs, people are paying dues to them, so they're pretty active. And a lot of them, they have their, own little community organizations going on, like they have a pool and a rec room and stuff like that, and they're all, common grounds that they have to pay to get mowed.
Yeah, I have a friend that's on the board of one, and this person says they have monthly meetings that are 2+ hours, and so I think that adding another neighborhood meeting onto that can be difficult on a monthly basis for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You want me just to introduce something controversial and get them out?
Well, that's what usually works.
You can go ahead and do that right now.
Oh, no, that's okay.
You got a little boost there.
Yeah, we got a little
5 people per household.
Well, it is true that when people are excited about an issue, to train you a little bit, I think we have had a crowd here, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
And and so maybe when people are happy or satisfied or not upset about something.
they don't show up when things are going well.
So I think it's good that you go ahead and meet in good times and in bad.
Yeah, when it's a mess, they show up.
Yeah, we've had some fireworks.
They're here wanting something done.
That's when I shine. That's whenever my talents come to the fore.
You were very good.
Because I think it's important for everyone to get their say in, as long as it's not the theater's on fire or something silly like that.
Or it's not possibly slanderous.
There you go.
You have had that happen.
Yes, we have.
But I do think people are busy, you're right. And our neighborhood association, for example, only meets once a year that I know of, where everyone's invited. And so they tend to contact me when there's a city issue or our other aldermen too. But perhaps they don't I mean, I don't know where Ethel is tonight, for example. I know she's been very loyal and good about being at meetings, but.
And I do know that a number of the neighborhood associations probably don't realize that we can be kind of a help stopgap between the individuals in the neighborhood and the alderman, you know, to kind of cure some of these things before they have to call up the alderman and, you know, start screaming and passing out.
Yeah.
And, as you well know.
Because you can get some input from other neighborhoods
Yeah.
where something is not just all about one.
Well, see, like we've got our publications online that, you know, will cure a lot of problems just by the knowledge of what can be done. And especially if they need to rectify problems. You know, if they're worried about too many people in a house, or if they're worried about, you know, dogs and running loose or that sort of thing, that's all addressed in our handouts and information that we've got on Access Fayetteville for neighborhoods. And you know, so that's where it would help. You know, if we could get these POAs that are, you know, big organizations like that to understand a little better what we do and how we can help facilitate their world, so they don't have to go calling around all over the place to get information that's right there.
Yeah. And I think the survey that we send out will help with some of that, asking people to, you know, what they need help with.
Yeah.
And what they want.
Good.
What they'd like to see out of the neighborhood associations. And, well, that sounds good. They'll also give us something else to add to the agendas.
And then our recruiting, did you want to
Well-
explore that aspect of this idea?
I didn't get to talk to everybody. I left messages. And I tried to be as upbeat as possible and not say anything rude. You've deserted us. Why have you left us? But I did try to tout a few of the things Don's talking about and Rhonda's talked about. The value of having this organization as the base first go-to group if you have something that you want to share. I remember talking today with people in the POAs, and you know, they say, well, we only meet to collect dues to do a certain project, like the entryway to their POA. So they don't have as many of the concerns as people living in an open neighborhood where you can drive through from all angles and so forth, because they're not gated communities. They're not locked out, but they are set aside with as many as one entryway in some cases. So that's a lot different than living in Lindsay's neighborhood, where many people can cross your yard or in front of your house all night long.
Or park in front of your house.
And park in front there.
What neighborhood is that?
Downtown.
It's
In the entertainment district.
entertainment district, let's say, yeah.
Could we be the first group that does Skype meetings and lets people Skype in to be a part of this meeting?
Might have no problem.
Communication director?
We'd love that.
I think we're looking at some other ways to, you know, make the media services that the city provides even better. As you notice, the mics.
Yeah, new microphones.
So,
John?
yeah, I've been to webinars sitting
Yes.
at my desk, so I don't know if that's a possibility. Maybe we can find out. We're just at the beginning with Granicus of the getting video online and much easier to watch and be more engaged. I think it's a tiered process, so there's more stuff to come. Just have to get all the technical stuff.
Could be worth thinking about for.
Yeah, because I know when I'm at a webinar and I hear a question, you know, the moderator will come on and say, we've got a lot of questions about how much does this cost or something. And so they'll answer, they get all the questions funneled to them as a moderator, and then they can ask the presenters, you know, I have lots of questions about X subject, and then we could address those.
Yeah, I guess Skype would be more a free-for-all, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And I'm not sure, you know, how it would work legally. You know, if you're not present, can you vote? So forth.
Well, you can declare that as a, I don't know what city committees have done it. I mean, Telecom Board and some others have had call-in members at times, and then call in even from the public.
On something like Skype or webinar or something like that, you'd be able to identify who they are. So, you know, I mean, you'd have a legitimate identification of them, so it shouldn't be any problem.
I could just see a roll call for each neighborhood and one representative from each neighborhood as you have being present on roll call, and that being the input, not really a free-for-all, but that being the input. And then I think down the road, and I know that we did just spend a lot of money on some new equipment and new technology. So I think it's something to think about, because I think a group like this could really benefit from that. It is a challenge to come here and park and when the weather's bad or when people are on vacation, and if they could Skype in and be an active participant in this meeting, it could be kind of fun. We'd need a screen and we'd need a protocol and all, but I could see it being the one committee that it might work on, coming from neighborhoods and getting more input. I don't know. It's just something I've thought about. Last time I was here, I thought it would be fun if each individual neighborhood had a representative roll call on Skype, like a webinar. Just a thought.
I'll say Tyrone just made a point. I'll go ahead since he's behind the camera. Just the reputation of Skype and what they've had in the past, that people hacking in and getting different accounts is really hard to regulate. So I thought that was a good point that he made when looking at that. So.
Well, I've heard of, I'm not familiar with Skype, kind of gathering the principles, but I have heard of events that were live streamed, right? And it's a program that's ongoing. And then there's they call a discussion back channel, where people can discuss what's being said and done. And so that has some of the things you're mentioning there, where an active discussion can be taking place by people who are experiencing the event through the media. And then that discussion is documented. And so it's there for someone to parse through and see what's being said, what's being thought. Is that similar to what Skype is like?
Yeah, we have some courses at the university and some classes that are we're Skyping, with Ukraine. Students are talking and they're getting credit and being graded and all. So it's just kind of cool to think about for future, just when you think about recruiting and how you might get more participation here from neighborhoods.
I've been wondering quite a bit who the audience is for this process we do here, and exactly how you find out who the audience is and what they're thinking. If they don't attend, then I don't know how you know.
Yeah. And
so the idea of the back channel, which is just a concept I heard about, I've never actually participated in one. I guess, can anybody enlarge me on that a little bit? It's just a conversation taking place online about what's being seen and heard.
I mean, you can see a lot of times when there's a debate, like on CNN's, like the presidential debate, there was a designated hashtag that people were twittering about, and so you could watch the Twitter feed. But I mean, everyone has to have these, whatever you use, if you use, an application or social media presence, you're going to have the participants register for that. So there would have to be an official one. And with Granicus, I can find out if there is some sort of system already in place and if we are scheduled to use that. Granicus is it's a municipal, it's video and telecommunication and digital communication transparent component for municipalities. I'm not sure if I explained it really well, but we use it right now when you are watching. I watch city council and agenda sessions from my desk in there, streaming, and I can see them, and then I can go to a meeting, and if I'm only interested in one agenda item that's at the very end, I can go to storage, digital storage on my computer, and just scroll down to that agenda item, and then I can see the discussion. So I don't have to watch the whole thing.
Kind of like a chapter in it.
Yes.
Okay.
But Granicus may have a component that's already in the works, but I don't know about it yet. So I can find out.
It's kind of a thought for down the road. It'd just be nice if the last Thursday of every month was POA meeting night, and we all got together in a webinar or something.
I
It's
agree.
crazy. Someday those sorts of things will be happening.
I
probably.
totally agree with that. And I think it's obvious that something needs to become aware of something that will enlarge it.
I mean, there's so many of them already. You've got FaceTime and Skype and, several of those sort of things that are already in place. I just don't know whether Granicus could do this and it's sure not something we want to pay for because we obviously don't take in any money.
Just something for down the road, maybe to think about. This group could be a good test case.
Do you guys have a Facebook page, like as a whole?
There is one. It's not very active.
Oh, I was just saying because you were saying you wanted like immediate feedback, and I was just wondering if maybe like a Facebook page would help with that.
Julie was playing with the Facebook.
Yes.
Some, and it was just a matter of eating up so much of her time to to deal with Facebook all by itself, and Facebook can really be
a big time suck.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the process of doing a social media audit for the city to find out who has different social media channels.
There was one that we got started on a little bit, and it was what, Commonplace? Is that right?
Yeah.
Community Link?
Community link.
Was it Community Link, Commonplace, or there was a couple of them that we were.
Yeah, they kept rolling in here and touting their services. And
Yeah.
getting people to sign up.
Okay.
And some of them disappeared, or they're not being paid much attention.
Yeah, and I guess just until something happens that, causes that to take off, that was pretty good because, people could put ads about if they had seeds for sale, or, from their garden, or,
We are looking, the city wants to have an engaged community, and so we're trying to figure out how to strengthen that engagement with citizens and among us with citizens and also citizens with each other. So it's just taking a little bit of time and work, and there's so many different choices.
It's just a short-term first step, following up on what our visitor had to say. Maybe we could just start make a point at the end of each meeting to state that we're open for questions or comments via the Fayetteville Council Neighborhoods Facebook page, and just remind people at the end of each meeting that you can contact us that way too.
Now, one thing that I would caution you is I can't remember how many people are on that, but it's, I believe, under 100. And the City of Fayetteville website has over 8,000 fans. So you're reaching at a maximum under 100,000. If you put it under 100, if you would post that on the Council of Neighborhoods Facebook page, and your potential to reach over, you'll reach many more people if it's on
the Fayetteville Facebook.
it would have to be me or other staff that
Yeah.
puts it on
Yeah.
there, but I do publish the council, I mean, the meetings for every weekly meeting. I put that up on Fridays when I get that list. People also sign up for their RSS feeds, whatever they want to be alerted about.
Do you put the videos on Facebook, like of your guys' meeting?
They're on the website.
They're on Access Fayetteville.
And, well, I don't know. I was just wondering because I've never even heard of you guys. And so I'm wondering if maybe that's why you're not getting a lot of, like, attention. And so I didn't know if maybe you could, like put where you're putting up your videos so people know where they can watch it.
Yeah, I can definitely post links. They're not immediately live. I don't know when they become live, but I can put those up. Definitely. Thank you.
It's definitely a thought, you know, I mean.
Well, I plan on putting the agenda session, link to the agenda session because it was interesting. The live link was not, there was a server crash on Tuesday, so it wasn't live. But it's a lot of walk-on material, so people maybe don't know what was discussed unless they are really in tune. So.
Another thing that you all have done is to have your meetings in different areas of town. And so, like tonight, one of the reasons I was late was because I ran out to school board meeting at Owl Creek Elementary School after work. And then you all had, because it was in Ward 4, and that's my ward, and then you all had Fayetteville Council of Neighborhoods at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And I've been there to your meetings. I thought that was great. And I don't know how.
Yvonne Richardson Center.
Yvonne Richardson. So I know that causes trouble for our a little bit, yeah, and expense of traveling and extra staff time. And so I can see why we wouldn't do that, just real often, but maybe once a quarter in a ward or every 6 months in a ward or something, maybe tied to the town hall meeting. Maybe a 45-minute, and I don't know. I mean, how could you get people to something, at one time? They come 45 minutes early for the Fayetteville Council Neighborhood meeting, and then they stay for the town hall meeting, and then the staff is already set up there, microphones are set up, and I don't know, how can you get people I like to go to one thing in one, two things in one place.
Get it all over with.
Just drive to the park once, I don't know. Could this ever be tied to a town hall goes on for a while, but.
And then there's ward meetings, but I think Ward 4 is the only one that's meeting right now.
I think that's right. We could have Fayetteville Council of Neighborhoods right before Ward 4 meeting or something. I don't know if you ever want to I'm just trying to think outside the box of what would get people.
Well, I think it's useful to enumerate the constraints and what do things cost, what kind of equipment needs to be where, and maybe some of these leading edge technologies are, I don't know, are they more expensive? Are they?
Usually they're easier because you got a laptop and it'll take care of it.
So that would be, since I'm not very good on bright ideas, I'm pretty good on plodding along and analyzing the details of something that, like Skype, I don't understand it because I haven't noticed it. It's not part of my world.
It's a video telephone.
I have a flip phone, so I'm challenged in that way.
My 2.5-year-old grandson could teach you.
I know.
That's the way that's happening with these young, isn't that? You probably
If he has the patience.
If he has the patience, there you go. But yeah, you're right. They're learning this, and you know it better than we do. But, yeah.
Is this a correct impression I'm getting that everybody is empowered now? Everyone has a camera. Everyone has a video camera.
Pretty much.
A recorder.
I mean,
I can put on the survey. I thought I would ask, would you attend we'll make the wording pretty, a digital meeting or a Skype meeting or whatever. I can ask, would you do a telemeeting? I guess still call it telecommuting, so maybe.
So,
If possible, if it's possible, would you do it?
well, I think if, you could get our city staff person to kind of check into some of these things, and see what's out there.
Sounds like she's already doing that.
I will check into it, see what the systems we have now, if they have this, and if not, what is available out there. I always like to look to what other municipalities are doing, so.
Like you can watch planning commission meetings live, for instance, and city council meetings live, but you can't feed back.
Right.
You can't put your 2 cents in online, and in our case, there'd have to be a way for people to put their 2 cents in.
Yeah. Yeah, we largely represent the peanut gallery, so.
Absolutely, we are the peanut gallery.
Well, it's been pointed out that maybe the functions are still being met, but they're just being done through social media now. And whoever the lawyer is that lives in the neighborhood gets the nod, and they go and take care of the business that needs doing, that everyone's in agreement about.
I mean, in my neighborhood, all the interaction happens online. We have a listserv, and that's how we handle business.
We do too.
So.
And that's the way it is, even in like our neighborhood.
And you have to think this group was established before social media was, and people were, they weren't talking to each other. They were talking to each other person to person. I've got to see you to discuss this, and see each other across the table.
You go down the street, and
It involved eye contact.
Yeah, nobody does that. I mean, neighbors don't really do that anymore.
Those listservs and stuff.
People would be texting a message to someone across.
the room.
Yeah. Even if no one's talking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's this concept I picked up on of something I heard called a back channel. It's an agreed upon place where people are discussing what's going on.
And
Well, we might have to have a technical evolution.
And there are some online resources that allow for neighbors to talk to each other and get along.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at some of that and trying to get a couple people to do experiments for me. So.
Good.
One of the things, Mr. Chairman, I look forward to, I believe pretty soon they're going to have a camera up here to shoot the audience, and another camera, 3 cameras in this room, so you get different angles, and you can control it from
The media box?
not in this building, but down at the station. So he could be doing that, or even better, something going on off-site could be covered by the employees that are freed up by these extra cameras with one controlling it. Because the labor here, the labor in the process, look at the machinery we've got,
Well, there
That's
will be
where the big
someone
expense is.
watching
Right.
operating all the cameras still.
But what I'm saying.
remotely.
But remotely. But what we need for many things that occur are if the planning commission goes on a tour, that used to be always recorded because we had more people working and doing that. And now it doesn't happen. If the park board goes down somewhere, there's not a government channel camera. So I'm envisioning, a lot of hours to be freed up from some of these things that are done that way. Plus, if they're doing it that way, more meetings can be live.
I think the freed up
which is a
hours
key
will
thing.
already be eaten.
Well,
Yeah.
Barbara, you're assuming that the recording of these meetings in these buildings will be automatic and it won't be, you'll still have to have somebody there controlling.
Oh, I know down there, but you won't have to, it sounds as though we won't have someone in the room.
Instead of in the room, they'll be in a different location.
Well, yeah, they won't have to set up the equipment, and then you'll also have the advantage of if there are 2 meetings going on at the same time, one person can run the board and do both of them instead of having 2 individuals.
I don't know.
Well, I shouldn't have gotten off on that. But the point is that if you free up some labor, then utilize that labor.
Well, you're back on the telecommunications board.
Yeah. At least they're not meeting on the same night, which has occurred several times.
But Aubrey, you're saying freeing up labor, and what labor are you freeing up? You save maybe 30 minutes of setup time here. That's it.
Well, nobody's over there operating.
There will be someone operating the 3 cameras in here.
Right, but
From
there
over
is
there.
nobody there right now having anything to do with this meeting.
No, but
This
he
being
would be
recorded.
over there,
Well, I hope so.
yes,
Yeah.
operating this meeting.
But anyway, theoretically, there will be some more time to get more things done so that we don't have missed opportunities to get public officials in action.
And it's worth, I think, this group thinking about what you said is great, that this was formed at a time when we didn't have all these options. And as we go forward with this new technology that the city has purchased, to look for ways in which this group can continue, and maybe in a different way or in a different, using different techniques and media opportunities.
Yeah.
This obviously we're not growing here, and so if we can grow by utilizing some of that, I don't know what it would be, but.
Well, I think from what I've picked up, being around this for about a year, is that the intention is that it facilitates conversations. And whatever someone needs to say, sometimes it's a little bit rough because they're excited about something. And sometimes it's pleading. It's I need the trail to be fixed a certain way. It's a long-standing need. I've been trying to get someone to listen to me. Facilitating these conversations and getting people together who want to hear about it and who are able to do something about it. So bring on the social media as far as I'm concerned, and whatever's fancy. You're going to have a camera person running the camera, whether they're sitting in a Star Wars chair somewhere down in another building or they're actually sitting here keeping tabs on things. That's going to be a component of it, right? Then how people talk to each other. And me and my old flip phone here, I'm not doing it like most other people are. But I do have pictures of my grandchildren.
That's all you need.
But really, I think we know the answers, and just a question of how we get to actually start doing it.
But Mr. Chairman, in some small towns where they don't have this kind of government channel and they don't have a lot of things we do here, they also don't have many meetings. So if you call a town meeting of any kind, you could get the whole town in the courthouse or wherever it's being held, because here there are thousands of things annually that a lot of us would like to attend all of, and they're charitable things and art and music and endless things. So we've got a lot of competition. Talking just a little bit, some of the things from the people I did actually talk to human beings a good bit this afternoon. And some of them did not know their names still on this list. Some of them didn't know, well, why didn't so-and-so contact the city? Because I gave her the information to call down there and tell them that that person is now the president or whatever they call it of a given group and would be the representative. And it didn't happen. And there were multiples like that. So that's why our list is, and like somebody asked about a particular person, why that person wasn't here or something. That person doesn't have a phone number on this list, and that's probably, privacy concerns. So didn't get a call. And other numbers were wrong, and there are a couple of people here who I believe have passed away. And other people who had been the representative here, another person said, well, this couple agreed to do this, and now they're not interested anymore, they say. of coming to the meetings and participating in this level of it. But I was also told that by the same lady that they have very nice, very frequent neighborhood meetings. They get together in a home in the neighborhood and socialize in person, not just online or whatever. So in each case, I suggested that please, if you're not able to be active, but at least you still called active because you haven't been wiped out or anything, but please try to talk somebody else into participating for the neighborhood's sake and for the rest of the city's sake. So some of them agreed to do that. So you can't put all these folks in. Some of them had a big event tonight, big charitable event, various things, good things like this. And so you can't put it all in one basket. And I'm not sure, a few of them would do it on Skype or something, but all these names on here I think would think that was not something they'd want in their house, Skype. I don't know what it is. I don't want one particularly, but I might learn to use it if I live long enough. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dee Dee.
Well, I was going to say the next email that I send out will be via Gov Delivery, and that's our system we use to send out. It's like Constant Contact. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it's for governments. So people will be able to opt out, so they don't want to see it again. Or, for instance, I got an email from someone that said they hadn't lived here in 5 years.
Wow.
And so they finally, I don't know what prompted them to finally ask to be removed, but it was that one email I sent out. So this one will be easier for people to unsubscribe themselves or subscribe them, to sign up.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, maybe they just sold the house that they kept here for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And a person like that could still have an interest, could still be a player in a neighborhood drama.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be perfect if they could stay current with things by email or whatever.
And anyone can sign up to receive neighborhood news. They don't have to be in an association or anything.
Right.
There's about 40 topics people can sign up for.
Well, it sounds like there's lots of ways to expand, and I'm thinking about the process where you don't expand into the second hour of the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
tonight especially.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering, have we done pretty well with our old business, do you think?
Well, it's,
Fresh points
let
to
me
make?
say that in response to Dee Dee, that you did get out an email, and several people said they received it,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't automatically respond. And,
Right.
and say,
It's like RSVP nobody RSVPs anymore.
they just show up.
Yeah.
Hope you still have some food when you.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to leave early, but can I get that, the site you said that you put the videos on again? Is it?
There you go.
Thank you.
So would
Thanks for coming to see us. Join us again sometime.
Okay.
could you tell us what your project is?
Well, I am in East class, and so I think we have to do like 2 meetings a semester, and we have to involve in our community, so.
Great. Good for you.
Feel free to come back.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
East is a pretty good deal for any of you who know about that.
I don't know about
You do, Aubrey, don't you? Because down in Greenland, they have that East deal that came up to see you at the Prairie.
Okay.
Met with you up there.
I'm not sure what we're saying, a separate school? or
Yeah, they've got it in
category?
individual schools. It's pretty neat.
Well, it sounds great.
It's an
I mean,
acronym,
people
EAST?
try to get kids out there.
EAST, yeah.
Okay, how are we doing on our agenda? We've got new business. Anybody have any new business to talk about?
No.
I had one idea that's come up, and I thought I should probably run it by y'all, at least get some input. as I told Aubrey earlier, trying to organize my neighborhood, people in my neighborhoods like herding cats, and but we have a very large and growing encapsulated community in the Jefferson Walker zone, which is Nantucket, yes, which they have more than double their capacity now. Now, I realize that we're putting in multi-story buildings, but they've moved beyond just the cottage duplex approach. So there's going to be a lot more people down there, and it's something, it's something pretty close to a gated community. I was thinking that it would probably behoove both the city and FCON and Nantucket if I were to go down and discuss within the possibility of them providing, of sending a representative.
Absolutely.
Because that's an insular set of folks.
There are a lot of folks sitting down there that vote.
Mm-hmm. What ward is that?
It's Ward 1.
Mm-hmm. So if that sounds like a good idea to y'all, then between now and the next meeting, I'll go down and speak with those in charge and sound them out.
Yeah, see what they think.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a motion that we ask that the treasurer, secretary and treasurer,
That's him.
Mr. Lancaster, go forward with that effort?
Yes, you may. And let's all vote.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay.
See, we took action tonight. Can't say we didn't.
Any other new business?
No, I think we touched on it, but
Did y'all still want to meet every month? Was that was something that was hinted at?
for now, yeah, I would think so. Wouldn't you?
Well, that's
Absolutely.
always been the
I
assumption.
would like it to meet every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aubrey
And I
always
would like
wants
to, well, I think I've just lived through the days, and Don has in particular, and everybody to some extent, when this was really useful. And the fact that I didn't dare ask Mr. Sharp to come and talk about his Kessler Mountain project tonight himself. He didn't want to come last time, and I'm not sure, he wasn't ready. He's got a lot of new material now. Like Sierra Club voted last week's meeting that we would support it, and he'll have that in his dossier of approvals before it goes to city council. But this is another spot that I was hoping he would come
Is this
and
the
share it.
Kessler
Mountain project, yes. And it's wonderful. I could have shown you the latest map he's
Bring in some photos of the
concocted.
Chinkopins.
Yeah. What's the difference in a Ozark Chinkopin and a Chinkopin oak and a...
Well, that's part of what's up there that's they're trying to preserve is those ancient.
I know.
So
There's a
like I said,
lot.
bring some photos.
I need to go, I wish I'd gone on that photo safari. I've got a lot of photos from out there with like those trees identified.
Okay, and would there be a neighborhood associated with that acreage out there?
Yeah, but they haven't been active lately because the people that were doing it are not able or willing to continue to do it. We've got a lot of groups that are very strong participants in the past that just don't have a representative coming. And people get so they're doing different things. It's just like everybody who's not here tonight had some other good excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have thought of one myself, but I bet you all could.
Well, I think at least for another month, we're interested.
I mean, because there are a lot of groups that meet when something comes up, so.
Do you think that Mr. Sharp would be interested in being on the agenda next?
I bet
time?
next month he will, because he's going to have a few new things to
I
add.
have a calendar that would be able to know when the March date is.
28th.
Same as this month. Good.
Any other ideas for things to have on our agenda then? Contact me throughout the weeks. We'll get our
If we,
agenda.
I'd like to know, just as far as something personal, if the next meeting we have the opportunity to get some feedback from the folks that participated in our presence on the square prior to the mayoral debates, and just to find out what kind of interactions they had with other people in our greater constituency.
And that was taking place what month?
That was in
October?
September and October, wasn't it? That might involve Dee Dee as well, but I can't remember. Don, were you manning the booth up at the square?
I did once.
Okay.
And Joanne Kavami manned it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Beth Presley
Yeah.
might have a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember.
Are you willing to pursue that for him?
Sure.
Have something for him
Sure.
next time? All right.
I just am wondering about, how effective it was and how that might be another opportunity, a casual opportunity to get people involved or at least curious about what we do.
This farmer's market's starting up again.
Yeah.
It's already started out at Botanical Gardens.
There's a new venue, I understand.
Out on College, my locomotion.
On the north side by Lake Fayetteville.
Right. Anybody got neighborhood updates or any other comments?
Still no
Cedar
sidewalk.
waxwings
Cedar Waxwings and Robins.
are eating every berry in town.
If you go down along the Lee Creek right now, you may become overcome by witch hazel intoxication. It is in full bloom, and I was down there last weekend and just about almost didn't make it through.
Our witch hazel
Where were you?
just coming out.
Hmm.
Just
Down along
coming
Lee
out.
Creek, south of Devil's Den.
Well, it won't be long then before you see some serviceberry, right?
Well, japonica was blooming last week. We've had jonquils blooming for
2
weeks.
weeks, yeah, 3 weeks.
Depending on where we were, whether it's on the north side or south side.
Mm-hmm. Crocus.
And burnt hyacinth in my area.
Yeah.
Freeze pit.
Well, do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
I'll give a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, a
I'll
second.
second it.
All in favor?
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank y'all for